Committee of the Whole to order. Let the record reflect it's Tuesday, January 26, 2021, at 6:38 p.m. This meeting is being conducted pursuant to Governor Pritzker's Disaster Proclamation and Public Act 101-0640, which amends requirements of the Open Meetings Act due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Pursuant to the same, the village board finds that it would be impractical to conduct an in-person meeting with all members present. I would ask at this time that the elected officials confirm that they can hear one another. President Vandenberg.
Yep.
Clerk Therian.
Yes.
Trustee Berg. Is Cindy on the line?
She is not.
She's not. Okay. Cindy Berg is absent. Trustee Brady.
Here.
Trustee Brennan.
Here.
Trustee Galante.
Here.
Trustee Mueller.
I can hear you.
Thank you. Present. All the materials for this meeting are available on the village's website, and we recommend the members of the public follow the agenda as posted. For items with the public comment, after members have spoken, I will afford public comment as follows. Once I, the chair, have a list of all public commenters, I will call on each person present at the meeting and afford them 3 minutes for their comment. Further time up to an additional 3 minutes may be granted by a motion of the village board. The public was also provided the opportunity to submit a request until noon today by email to the clerk's office at tinleypark.org or by placing their written request in the drop box at the village hall to participate publicly via a live telephone call at the relevant portion of the public meeting. And the public was provided the opportunity to submit written comments until noon today by emailing their public comments to the clerk's office at tinleypark.org or by placing their written comments in the drop box at the village hall. Written comments will not be read aloud. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, you please call the roll.
Trustee Berg. Absent. Trustee Brady.
Here.
Trustee Brennan.
Present.
Trustee Galante.
Present.
Trustee Glatz.
Present.
Trustee Mueller.
Here.
President Vandenberg.
Present.
Thank you. Item number 2. Consider approval of the minutes of the special committee of the whole held on December 15th, 2020. Have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Bill. Madam Clerk, can you call off the roll?
Trustee Berg. Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 3, discuss video gaming request for Aurelio's Pizza, 15901 Oak Park Avenue. Will that be Mayor Vandenberg or will that be Hannah Lippman?
Be both. So thank you for allowing us an opportunity to place this on the agenda this evening. To keep it short and sweet, Aurelio's has been a staple of Tinley Park, Oak Park Avenue for a number of years. And I believe we've all frequented or at least enjoyed some other at some time or another in their life. So they have come to us with requests to add gaming into their establishment. We provided a layout for you, a printed layout. This would be in their bar area, typically for seating. It's not going to be for any family area. There is also an email
Do you have one?
that I'd like to enter into the record, if we haven't already, from Joe Aurelio, basically allowing that they've had a franchisees meeting and the ownership agrees that that individual franchisees could proceed with putting in their request to individual municipalities. So Hannah, did everybody get this copy or no?
I believe I passed it around up there, yes.
Okay, if not, we could certainly add it. I'd like that to be added to the record. And I appreciate your consideration. If there's any direct questions, I'd ask that you ask Hannah. Or if Mr. Gangus is here, he could ask him as well.
That's what I was gonna say.
Sir, if you'd like to step
Mr.
forward.
Gangus is
Yep.
here if there's any questions.
Mr. Who?
Good evening, Tom Gangus from Aurelio's Pizza. How's everybody tonight?
Great.
Good.
Good, thank you.
So,
Are there any questions for Mr. Gangus?
well, do you want me to explain anything first, or?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and give us a quick
Okay,
run-through?
so our restaurant basically has 3 walls, 3 rooms. The one side is a dining room, but / party room that we do our semi-private parties. Then when you come on in, you have our main dining room where our big hearth fireplace is. Then there's an entryway on the photo that I submitted that goes into the lounge area. That does have seating. It has 6 booths plus the bar and seating at the bar. We did have back booths on that back wall that were removed, and that's the area that we're planning on putting the video gaming. We did have Excel come on in and look at the appropriate area, and he said that that area there would wind up working out fine. So I do understand here in Tinley that one of the rules are that you have to have a 7-foot partitioned wall to enclose that. My question, 2 questions actually. One is, if I were just to deem that room 21 and over, do I still have to put up the wall? If I do, not a problem. And then the other question I have is the wall, is it supposed to be totally solid? Or can I go midway solid with a one-way looking Lexan? So the people that are in there don't feel confined. They can see in the lounge room, but patrons from the lounge won't be able to see in.
Fair enough. Those are 2 good questions.
I'll go first. We'll go around, unless you want to lead, Jake.
Nope, go right ahead.
The whole purpose of us doing the 7-foot wall is to keep it away from families that go in there with young children. Personally, I don't have a problem without having any wall for space, as long as it was a 21 and over, if the board was okay with it. But where it's gonna be located, can you at all, from people that are sitting in the restaurant, will they be able to see the games at all?
No. So one of the photos, you'll see that there's like the floor that was cut up that we're replacing the tile. It's that back wall there. So there's no windows, no nothing. So the first photo I showed you is walking into the lounge. It's a doorway, and that's like the service bar for the staff. And then the second photo was the length with the booths, the bar, and all the games are gonna go against the back wall. There's no windows in the whole restaurant.
Yeah, I think it'll give them more space if they have no wall, if it's a 21 and over, but whatever you guys want to do. We'll start with Bill, Brady.
I think it's a great idea. I think we have to go with the wall because everybody else ahead of him we required a re-wall for him. But I like the idea of the mirror, the 2-way glass. I think that's a innovation for all the other walls that we required everybody to have. That's it.
Good, Bill.
Yeah, I think that would be fine. 21, if it's a 21 and over room, I think that would be sufficient. I think this is kind of the reason why we didn't codify this before, the 7-foot wall, making this kind of a standard, hard line as far as, a situation like this. So I think if it's going to be a 21 and over room, I think that would be sufficient. If it's only in the bar area, if you can keep it away from families and children, I'm good with that, so.
Thanks, Bill. Trustee Mueller?
Yeah, I agree with Bill. If it's going to be an over 21 room, I think that alleviates a lot of the board's concerns in the past about it being next to family dining. So I'd be fine with that.
Mayor Vandenberg?
I have nothing to add, just short of the legal conversation, how we would work around the code on that, that's all.
So you don't have an opinion?
I don't have an opinion, no. I think it's, as presented, I think it's fine.
Trustee Galante?
My only question is, are you going to be removing booths that people are currently using to come in to dine, to put this in?
No. In that lounge room where we're putting the games, we had a big horseshoe booth and another small booth. We pulled those out because originally, we've been spending too much money. We remodeled the whole inside. But originally, we were going to pull out the bar and build a new bar on the back wall. And where the new bar is, we're going to add more seating so we can do parties. Then COVID hit. Now I'm not getting any dining. So, you know, so, and that was one of the ways that why Joe felt that this might be an appropriate time to help everybody try and bring back our business, bring in some new customers, and do some things. So the only thing that was removed originally from that room were 2 booths, and that's it. So in that lounge, I'll still have 10 stools at the bar and 6 booths for customers that want to come in there and eat and so forth. The main dining room, nothing was changed at all. In the party room, nothing was changed.
Okay, thank you. And I agree, I think you know, if we have a 21-year-old and older, you know, that is my concern, the same with the rest of the board, is that it's separate. You know, the kids can't be in it, and then to me, it wouldn't require that wall,
Oh, okay.
in my opinion.
Any other questions for the petitioner this evening? No? Thank you very much. Go ahead,
Thank you.
can have a seat.
That's it, I leave?
It's not on the agenda tonight, but
No donuts, coffee?
Stay around, maybe.
We just got to vote.
Thank you, have a good evening.
Take care.
Madam Clerk? Or do we have a motion?
So we're making a motion to bring it to the next village board meeting?
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
With
With
the stipulation
21
in
and
the-
over room.
in the license, it's 21 and over.
Yep.
I would,
Joe, can you draft something up, send
I
it
think we should
around?
draft, it sounds like there's consensus from the board to draft that right into the code, right, for 21 and over? I mean,
Yep.
okay,
I think so.
21 and over with no wall.
We'll have that separate.
Okay.
So moved?
Do you want to make that motion then?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Someone want to second it?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
Trustee Burke is absent. Trustee Brady.
No,
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, Kristen. Item number 4, discuss video gaming fees, terminal operator split. This was my agenda item. So the reason we're bringing this forward is because they used to in the past, the terminal operators used to be able to pay their license fee. And then you know, IBG has made some different decisions and stances on it, you know, possibly could be, you know, inducement, stuff like that. So I asked the terminal operators if they would consider doing a split fee where they pick up parts and then there's less burden on the businesses so that the businesses do not have to worry about getting, you know, asking the terminal operators to help them. And so Hannah and I went through this, and the terminal operators wanted to make it $750 for them, and then $600 for the business. Originally, we would have done $500, but we're doing $600 because staff is gonna have to do double work on that. So Hannah, if you just want to touch base on that part of it, and then I'll continue.
Yeah, sure. And not that it's necessarily hard work, but it's just double the work administratively if we're gonna be billing, double the amount of people if it's both now the establishment and the terminal operator. So it's just a lot more processing and, more intake to handle and whatnot, so.
So that was kind of Hannah's idea. I think it's a good idea. And then the other suggestion, asking the board to consider, is if they are a 501c3, like a nonprofit or like a veteran organization, they would only pay $400 and they would get a $200 discount off of that for any of the veteran organizations or 501c3s. So it would be $750 for the terminal operator, and it would be $600 for the business. And then if they're one of the categories we discussed with the veterans, they would only be $400. And the VFW and them are extremely happy and supportive of this. Bill, if you want to start with you, if you want to
I
have any
agree.
discussion on it?
I think it's a fine idea.
Okay. Bill Brennan?
Sounds good. by
Yeah,
me.
and that's per machine.
Right.
So, go ahead, Bill.
No, I think that's a good idea. I think this is, you know, the best scenario for.
And then you'll have to go back and forth
Yeah,
with
for
the
the
terminal operator. They're separate, and, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I think it's perfect. I think we're giving some relief to our business owners, and we're still increasing the revenues the village will get for these, so it's perfect.
Jake?
I have no comment, thank you.
Trustee Galante?
Well, I guess I'm concerned because it sounds to me like we're not supposed to be doing this, that this is against the rules that they've made for gaming. It's a fraud prevention. So why would we want to continue this practice?
I can comment on it if you'd like.
Sure.
So right now it isn't allowed, you're correct. That's what the IGB calls it, inducement, but if you amend your code to add the fee, then it is acceptable.
If we amend it here, but why would we want to start going against the rules that are being made for this? Why would we want to?
We're
I
not
guess I'm
going
cons-
against the rules.
So
Well,
there- and
it's
there are
recommended
couple-
that we do not do this. I mean, that's the recommendation.
It's not that it's not, so the state has allowed this practice in the past, but recently they've said that, hey, we're not gonna turn our heads anymore because it's not written in the state statute. But if you as a locality wanna decide that you wanna split the fees, go for it, amend your
Sure.
own code.
We should.
So there's been a couple other municipalities who have done it. You have the sheet there. For example, Carroll Stream does it, and then Woodridge does as well. So there are a few other examples of this being done. And you know, again, it helps ease a bit of the burden on the establishments who do have these fees, but.
Yeah, the reason they want to keep it separate is so there's no pressure from the owners of these machines onto the people that are running them. I think it's a bad practice for us to make this change. I think, in my professional opinion, it's a bad decision. So I would vote no. And I think that, I'm not sure which of the options that I see here, which of the options were you recommending, Mike, on this proposed potential options?
So to remove that conversation of inducement, they would have their own fees. The terminal operator would no longer reimburse any of the businesses that have it. They would be totally separate, which would remove any type of impropriety.
But we're paying
would-
for part of their fee.
No. Well, so the answer to your question is the terminal operator would be $750. The business would be $600. If they were a veteran organization or a 501c3, they would only be $400. Anything you want to add to that, Pat?
Yeah, just a little bit what I know. The rationale behind the rule from the gaming board was, I think, Trustee Galante, you mentioned it, they didn't want operators going into every bar and saying, oh, we'll pick up all your fees as a sweetener to get the business, if you will. So, I think when we're saying, when we're splitting the fees, although the number may not change when it comes to the village, it does, it does alleviate that. Now, it doesn't matter what operator they choose, the fee will be the same. So, and it cannot be picked up, they cannot pick up the bar owners now, which is what the IGB rule is intended to stop. So, although the money might be the same, I think this does comply with the state's rule.
That was the next question. This is completely legal to separate it like the other towns are starting to do.
Yeah, I have no legal issue. It certainly doesn't, again, the intent of that rule was to stop operators from sweetening the pot, if you will, saying, we'll pay all your fees. I don't see, this certainly doesn't violate that. Might the operators argue that it's a occupation tax or something like that? Who knows what they say, but I think it's certainly legal.
Okay. What? Go ahead, Brad.
Trustee Glatz, you indicated, fraternal, veterans organizations and 501c3s would have the lower fee. I'm not aware of any 501c3s that,
American Legion.
I'm sorry?
American Legion.
American Legion is a fraternal veterans
So just
organization.
those two, I believe.
And the question that comes to mind is like the Herald Viking Lodge
Oh, that's-
is a fraternal organization. I'm not sure that they're a 501c3, But they do fall under the 501 category as a fraternal organization. Do we want to just,
Yeah, so if you could, can you, when Pat's here tomorrow, can you guys just work the legal?
I think the phrasing is not so much 501c3, but
Fraternal.
a 501 veterans or fraternal organization.
We could track the law, how they define it in the gaming
Yeah,
statutes.
between Hannah, Brad, and Pat, you guys can work on the language for that, right? Okay.
We can handle it.
Cindy, anything you want to add?
No, just, I'm sorry for being late. Apologize.
Okay. All right, Madam Clerk, or we got to get a motion first.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Madam Clerk, you call the roll?
Trustee Burke,
No.
trustee Brady,
Yes.
trustee Brennan,
Yes.
trustee Galante,
No.
trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller,
Yes. That was 4-2.
4-2.
Motion carries, thank you. Item number 5, discuss video gaming fee due to COVID-19. Is that going to be Jake, you, or Hannah?
Hannah, go ahead. You can do
Okay.
it.
So we've had several establishments approach the liquor commissioner in regards to video gaming fees, so we just want to bring it before the board. You know, as you're aware, we have waived the liquor licensing fees for 6 months in 2020 and 6 months in 2021 as well, and we left the video gaming fees alone. As you're all aware, $1,000 per terminal, so establishments have anywhere from 3 to 6 terminals, so it's $3,000 to $6,000 that they'd have to pay annually. To date, 29 out of 38 video gaming license holders have already paid for 2021. You know, obviously, given COVID, the machines were shut off for 2 months. It was November 20th through January 19th, so some of these establishments did take a hit there, keeping that in consideration. So really, we just wanted to, again, bring it to the board's attention that we did have some establishments inquiring about the fees and if there was any chance of potential waivers or why we didn't reduce that fee.
Or prorating it.
Or prorate, correct, to see if there was any larger discussion that the board wanted to have. In regards to potential options, we could just leave the fees alone, make no changes. Like I said, there's only about 9 establishments who have to pay still. We can just extend the due date. We haven't implemented any late fees for those who have paid late at this point in time. We wouldn't charge any late fees again for those who still have to pay. We could reimburse the 29 establishments who have already paid. It would probably come out to about $83 per terminal for 2 months. Comes out on average to about $830 per establishment. And then obviously we would just reduce the fee for the 9 who still have to pay. Or we can do a waiver next time around in 2022 for video gaming. Again, it comes out to about $830 an establishment. So just wanted to see if the board had any interest in any of the above. And I don't know if Mayor Vandenberg had anything else to add to that conversation, but that's that.
No, I think your memo lays it all out. It's exactly the conversation and the feedback you were getting from some of the establishments. I mean, any one of those options I think is satisfactory, and it's definitely an olive branch to the business community. And, you know, that could make or break somebody's month, I would say, from some of these smaller businesses, so. I'm open to whatever the recommendation of the committee is.
Hey, Brad, when did these go into play, video gaming?
Sorry?
When did video gaming start in Tinley?
2014.
14? Okay. My 2 cents on it is, like Hannah just said, 29 of the 38 have already paid, and the part that sticks with me in your memo is this is an additional revenue source. So for the last 6 years, most of them, not obviously some have come up, you know, over the last couple of years, but most of them have been doing pretty well with the gaming as an additional revenue source. I don't think it'd be fair to all the other businesses, you know, how many businesses we have in Tinley Park, Brad?
Several thousand.
So you have several thousand of them that don't have this option of having, you know, earning the, whatever it is, the 32, 33% additional revenue. So they're at a big disadvantage. Some of them are making, you know, $300,000 a year. That's a fair statement, right? So we have, and to reduce something that's an additional extra revenue source that thousands don't have, I think would be doing them a disservice, especially when the village has cut, what, 20 million from the budget we cut? So we also have expenditures and fees as well, and we've made major cuts, and we've helped a lot of the businesses. We've done staff, and Priscilla and everyone's done a great job, and Kimberly with, with the grants. We've been cutting, some checks on that, with it being an additional revenue source. And the games are back on now already. I think that was a short-term thing, and I don't think now that the games are on, they'll make that money back in a month anyways. So I think we should just leave it as is.
Just to be clear, I think it's a poor analogy to use other businesses simply because the hardest impacted businesses that this town's, that COVID has hit in this town are gonna be your bars and restaurants, or the specifically the individuals we're talking about. So, I mean, to compare them to other businesses, as a business owner myself, I don't see it as being a disservice. I see it as being exactly what I said, an olive branch from a government to try to help offset some of the hardship that they've had to face over the last year or so. And this is the second time that the machines have been shut down. So I appreciate the reservation there, and I certainly understand it as well. And it's not a large sum of money that we're speaking about. Again, I think it's important to look at the public-private partnership that we have with our small businesses. And if there's a little that we could do to help them out, I don't understand how, I certainly don't understand how we're putting our hand out to collect a check for something that they weren't even utilizing for 2 months, for the second time.
Again, on the flip side of it, it's an additional revenue source at only 38 of thousands. They don't have to have the license. If they don't want to pay the fee, they're more than welcome to pull the games. We didn't force them or ask them to put the games in there. They did because it's very lucrative. And I mean, the village is bleeding money. To compare a funeral home to a bar, I mean, how many restaurants that don't have them? The former tribes, they tried getting them, they didn't get them. The Golden Corral, they could have used them. They don't have them. So, what about the
They don't
Golden
have them
Corral?
because you didn't offer them a liquor license, but let's be.
So, I mean,
Let's be clear on that.
To compare that, because it wasn't the right setup.
I'm
So
just
It's
saying
an
that
additional revenue source.
We're
You
gonna
can't compare it to a funeral home.
accurately.
But anyhow, they're more than welcome to turn the games back in if they don't want to pay the fee. Go ahead, Bill.
Well, I think trying to help business is a great idea, okay? And isn't it, if I correctly, and I think you mentioned it too, Mr. Mayor, is that it's been the second time they were shut down for 2 months, isn't it?
What I stated, yes. Correct.
Yeah. Oh, okay, because 2 months seems like a short time, and I thought, no, it's been going longer than that. And I would like to take any of the option that we can to help them, okay? What we can do. What Mike says makes some sense, that, they don't have to have the games, but we allow them to have the games in order to help them succeed in their business, okay? So I think we're still working to try to help them succeed in their business, and I would be for trying to help them as well.
Bill?
I see both sides of the argument here. It's we as a board have put in place measures to not have these businesses solely rely on gaming, and I know there's been concerns about how long they've been in business before we actually give them the license for gaming. So, I mean, being a business owner myself, I kind of err on the side of, lending an olive branch off to them and helping them out for the prorated amount. But I just, I do see that, this isn't their primary business, and that's not, really where it should come from. So, I could go either way on it. I think that, it isn't a huge sum of money, so if we did prorate it, I know it'd probably be more work administratively for you, Hannah, so. But, I think, I could, like I said, I can go either way on it, so.
Mike?
Yeah, I think we should try to help out the businesses. They were turned off in this particular instance. I agree with Bill's sentiment about the not overdoing it for village staff. Is there a way that we could just say those 39 that have paid, you're paid, you get 2 months free next year, just to kind of avoid all that check writing?
That is, and Brad, I don't know if you want to, do you have a preference if we were to either do a waiver for 2022 or if we were to reimburse 29 businesses?
I think I'd rather reimburse the 29 businesses and. get
He's
it-
gonna wanna
put it
keep
behind
all his
us.
GL codes in line with each other, so.
Now, the other piece that I look at is, you know, let's make the math easy and just make it $80
Machine.
per month per machine as opposed to 83.
Yes, whatever it is
Yeah,
that
happy to
helps
reimburse.
aid that out, I think we should take care of.
I have to agree with trustee Glatz that we have, you know, they've made a lot of money on this. If we looked at the amount of money they've made, you know, since this has been turned on. And I agree that there are, you know, there's other restaurants, there's other, you know, people that could qualify for gaming that unless we want every business in Tinley Park to have it, it's really not, you know, I wish there was a way to spread it around. So I would have to say no and reimbursing them.
Cindy?
I'm going to abstain. I'm not sure about this one.
Okay.
I mean,
So
the-
just to
the
confirm-
alternative too, we could certainly lower our fees too. I mean, that
Well,
was
we're
one of the.
changing now
poten-
anyways, right?
I know, I'm just saying, but I mean, if that's the hardship, then,
Well, and
I mean-
that's the two conversations do somewhat go hand in hand, because the establishments this year haven't had the terminal operators paying on their behalf. That's part of the reason why some have approached us, so.
and then I think as majority of the restaurants, whether they had gaming or not, that have been directly impacted by COVID, most of them have a liquor license associated with their establishment, and all of them have had the benefit of having that delay as well. So I mean, I agree, I can understand the comparison that we're trying to make with some are getting something and some aren't, but I don't, because I mean, they also had the same benefit of the liquor license being delayed, right? I mean, I just, I don't know.
The liquor license is a necessity, and use something that, I don't know how long ago Diane said it, but she said it a long time ago, that the reason we give these, it's not supposed to be their business model. They're supposed to have a business model, and the gaming is additional. If we're just using the gaming to fund the business, then we should just call it a cafe. It's not a bar, it's not a restaurant, it's a cafe. You have 38 licenses, 29 have already paid. So I'm guessing this started from nine of those 38 that have it is probably where this started from, that have paid it, prepaid it, and you have thousands of businesses that don't have this opportunity. There's been businesses that have got voted down on video gaming.
Just-
We have given them discounts on liquor licenses. This is not supposed to be their model. This is extra revenue where they're getting 33% of the proceeds. And so now for whatever it was, if we called it 80, we're gonna be, when we cut our budget, $20 million, we're gonna be cutting checks for roughly $500 to the businesses that'll make this up in, once the machines are on, back in a week. And, you know, we have other services that we have to provide for the village that that our residents need. So that's every $500 check you cut, it's that much less that we have for other services for the rest of the village. So if someone wants to make a motion of some sort, I'm with Diane on that. I'm gonna be a no.
Just point of clarification, I just want to make sure I understand that correctly. A couple, some of the establishments that did reach out, they already had paid. I just want to make sure that was on the record, because they're not the holdouts. They've already submitted their payment, they're good to go. They were just pointing it out they were just asking like, hey, has there been any conversation or consideration about that? Because, you know, I wrote a check for $5,000 and my my games have not been producing for 5 of the last 12 months. I mean, that's real money. That's all. I just wanted to clarify that, because I didn't think I stated that earlier.
Again, they could have the games picked up if they like, if it's not their business model.
Yeah, but then that might jeopardize them actually keep staying in business, which is ultimately gonna jeopardize a quality of life here in Tinley.
If it's a Stella's, I get it, they're a gaming cafe, but
Well,
either way. So is there,
No, I mean,
is there a
there's- but
motion? There's no reason to go back and forth
Philosophically
and
speaking,
belabor
really
it.
quick,
Is there a motion to do one of these options?
Well, we started to make a motion. I'd like to add, though, like everything you said about the various establishments, okay? When they came here and they stood here, the best of my recollection, is that they needed gaming in order for them to maintain a presence in the village, okay? And that was many of their requests to be able to get it to maintain. So something that's helping them to maintain or get above going out of business was the idea of the gaming. And that's why we granted many of them because of their plea to try to stay in Tinley.
When's the last time anyone's looked at the monthly profit from the games pre-COVID?
you're looking at, oh, never mind.
So now to ask for $500, again, I'm fine either way, however one wants to go. I have my feelings. I obviously support the business. We've done tons of stuff for them, but to come back and ask for that when, Brad and Andrew have had to come to us and say we have to cut other services for the village, $20 million. I just, when does it stop? I mean, we have 58,000 residents we have to worry about as well, too, that need that money. But go ahead, if anyone wants to make any type of.
Hang on, Hannah, you said, is it around $800 for businesses? Is that the average? Is that what you said?
Yeah, the average, it'll come out to about $800 a business. I think it's about 25,000. That's the hit that the village will take.
Okay. I don't think $800 is gonna keep a business afloat, so, I mean, that's also something to consider too,
Can I ask, just to, if we delay it, if we delay their fees to due, hopefully, would that, do the businesses make enough money on this still that they could cover that? And if we delayed them,
Yes,
till March?
Tons.
yes.
I mean, delaying them, I don't, of course, we all want to help the businesses. If there's a true hardship, hopefully we would know about that separately.
Didn't you have something in here answering Diane's question? Wasn't it like end of March or something?
Yeah,
They
If
would
through
have-
that was,
March.
if that was what the board wanted to consider, we could choose a date that we could just have the payments delayed until, a certain due date.
Next year,
I'm sorry,
next year.
until 2022.
Two. Is that what you're saying?
No, March.
Well, I was saying through
talking
the
about
end of
delaying it
March,
this
now that the
year?
machines are back on. If they were off for,
It's like if you did it March 1st, their machines would be up and running essentially for 6 weeks before they had to pay.
correct.
So I'll make a motion to have them pay the fees by March 1st unless anyone else wants to make it April 1st. I mean, if that'll help, like Bill said, $800 isn't gonna make or break them, but $25,000 check from us when we're already cutting. We're in the budget now and you guys are slashing stuff like crazy, which is essential services to the rest of the village. So I'll make a motion to make it March 1st unless anyone would like to make it April 1st. Do I have a second?
I'd second that.
Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Trustee Burke,
Abstain.
Trustee Brady,
Yes.
Trustee Brennan,
Yes.
Trustee Galante,
Yes.
Trustee Glatz,
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes. Motion carries. Item number 6. Gas man, is it you?
Yes, thank you, trustee Glatz. I'd like to discuss what probably everybody has seen or we've discussed about the memorandum of agreement, the MOU for, with Cook County Health in regards to our mega vaccination center. This came up approximately a week and a half, almost 2 weeks ago. It came up very quickly. Cook County Health and the hospital system was looking for a large space to open one of the first megapods in the state. And You know, our convention center has been vacant for the past 9 months because of COVID. So we put together a plan with Cook County Health, Cook County Emergency Management, Cook County Department of Public Health to utilize our facility. So it took a little bit to get it put together, but we were able to put it together, and within a matter of days, this past weekend, with round-the-clock construction, we were able to transform the convention center into the first megapod vaccination center in the state. So it's been a historic event. We started vaccinations to the public today, and we'll continue until further notice.
Pat, I want to thank you for all the work you've done on this. This is absolutely amazing that Tinley Park was able to land this. And I know you put a lot of time and effort into this, and anyone else that helped you through EMA and everyone. I don't know everyone that was involved other than yourself. So thank you for your work you did on that. Bill, you want to add anything?
I agree with you. It's a great job to set up on it so quickly, to have government, those many government people get it done that fast is amazing in itself at the various levels that we have to deal with. And Pat, is there any way we can find out each day or whatever, or find out how many, would we know how many are getting inoculated a day? Can you get that figure? Just,
Yeah, I personally can
goes
get
on.
the figure being there. They don't, I'm not sure that they actually publish that
Oh, okay.
out there, but I could give the board an update. And
Yeah, just an idea to
something-
see how
something
well
we
they're
can
doing.
Publish on the website,
yeah,
or on social media.
be cool just to know how much they're getting through there.
Yeah, at any given point, it starts at, I think we did 500 today, and the game plan is to get up to 4,000 a day.
Wow,
So,
congratulations. Nice job.
Good, Bill.
I'll just, I know Pat worked really hard on this, so I commend Pat for doing such a good job on this. This is, I know he put a lot of time into it. I'd also commend our predecessors, Mayor Zabraki and his team. I talked to Tony Preckwinkle, President Preckwinkle, after, and they were really looking for a facility that had a big enough parking lot to accommodate all those people. So I think kudos goes to Mayor Zabraki and his team, so, to get us that convention center, so.
Thank you.
Great work, Pat, and the rest of your team. Awesome.
Jake,
I have nothing.
Clerk Therian? I'll just add to that too. Thank you for also bringing some revenue into the owners of the convention center. Dan?
Yeah, I thought it was very impressive. Their website actually said 18,000 a week they hope to get through there. There was I don't know if we videotaped it. Senator Hastings did put a live video feed out there, I found. It was really interesting. Got to see the entire facility and how it's being run. I would have liked to be there. It looked really impressive. Pat, thank you for everything you did on that to make that happen. I had neighbors reaching out to me. I don't know, 30 seconds, I think, after it must have gotten out of why they can't, where do they go to sign up? So, thank you. Thanks to everybody who got that going.
Cindy?
I think it's great that we were able to partner with the Department of Public Health and Cook County, and it was nice to see all the commissioners there, and I know the south suburbs have been disproportionately affected by COVID, so it's nice of Tinley Park to be in the position to help out.
Great, thanks. Anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Thank
I'll
you,
second
Cindy.
it.
Got a second?
Second it.
Thank you, Bill. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Roll call for item number 6, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 7, discuss renewing contract with Meridian IT Inc. for data center interface. Who's taking that one?
I will take that again, trustee Glatz.
Thanks, Pat.
This is another annual IT contract renewal. So just, again, another one of our annual renewals for this service.
Thanks. Any questions from the board? Someone like to make a motion?
I'll
I'll
make
make-
a motion. to move
I'll
to the
second it.
board.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Bill. Madam Clerk, you call the roll?
Roll call for item number 7, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 8, discuss memorandum of understanding for firing range with the Illinois State Police, and I saw Chief grab the mic, so you want to speak?
Yeah, thank you, trustee Glatz. Currently, we use our range at Tinley Park, and we use the Linwood Outdoor Range. This MOU is just a backup plan to the village for us to use the ISP range if necessary, in case our range is down for cleaning or the Linwood range isn't available. It's at no additional cost to the village. It just allows us to continue to qualify our officers as required.
Who put this together?
Pardon?
Who put this together?
Commander Tenza put it together with the Illinois State Police.
Thank you. Anything from the board? Got us. Anyone want a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Thanks, Bill and Bill. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
Roll call for item number 8, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 9, public comment. Laura, is there anyone that emailed or dropped anything in your Dropbox for public comment? Anyone from the public like to speak? Just remind you.
Yeah.
It's a special meeting, so if you could keep it to something
Yeah.
pertaining to the agenda, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Will do. So 3 of you guys said, hey, let's give an olive branch to these bars, right? Let's give them back $800. I think one owns a business. Bill, you own your own business. Getting a check for $800 for a small business means a lot to these people, to their families, to the workers. And I don't know what the operating budget for the village is. 60 million, and we're talking $25,000. And we just ended up, stand up for you guys. Stand up for the businesses, right? That's all.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? I'll make a motion to adjourn the special cow at 7:24 PM.
So move.
Second.
Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Roll call for adjournment, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. We are adjourned at 7:25.